Hello, greetings again from 5-Star Recaps. Today we'll show you a 2018 drama film called Nappily Ever After. The film revolves around a girl named Violet and her overbearing mother Paulette, who is so consumed with the presentation of her child that she sees Violet as a reflection of herself. It was a constant source of anxiety for Paulette to demonstrate that her daughter was just as well groomed as any white child. However, while other kids would play with their hair uncombed, no shoes, and traces of everything they had eaten smeared on their faces, completely unconcerned about any flaws in their appearance, Violet, on the other hand, required a once-a-week wash, condition, and hot comb until her hair was straight enough to run her fingers through without any knots. Only then would Paulette see her daughter as the perfect girl. Violet, however, is unable to enjoy her perfection because she is prohibited from participating in all the fun activities that other 11-year-olds do. While at the pool one day, a boy dared Violet to hold her breath underwater. Not knowing the consequences of her straightened hair in water, she dove in, despite her mother's objections. She was horrified when her hair started to become wild and frizzy. Her embarrassed mother took her home as the other kids laughed and teased her. Violet, who is now an adult, appears to have a perfect life. She is a successful advertising executive. Clint, her boyfriend of 2 years, is a doctor, and she makes a lot of effort to maintain her long straight hair, as she were always told that men love straight hair. She maintains a close relationship with her mother because she enables Violet to remain the epitome of perfection. On the other hand, because her father left his job to become a model, his relationship with Paulette has soured. One morning, Paulette arrives at Violet's apartment early. Violet discovered a green gift box that her boyfriend had hidden in his pocket in the closet. Excited, they both anticipate what the present might be. Paulette assisted her in getting ready for her birthday and possibly a marriage proposal. As Clint sleeps, Paulette straightens her hair. She reveals that Clint has been asking her assistant April for advice so that her birthday party will be to her likings. She also reveals that her father Richard will be attending the party, much to Paulette's displeasure. Violet asks her to be polite to him. She goes back to bed after her mother leaves, and when Clint wakes up, she is by his side, looking absolutely stunning. Clint wishes her a happy birthday, and they start making love before heading off to their respective jobs. At work, Violet makes a fantastic presentation to her boss, who gave her permission to present the idea to the clients. Later, she meets her friends for brunch, where the women gush over her impending marriage proposal. Outside, as she is leaving, she is unintentionally sprayed by the neighbor's children, causing her hair to become wet. Unable to reach her mother, she pays a hairdresser to cancel her other appointments so that she can get her hair fixed because she needs it to be flawless. There, she meets the hairdresser Will and his sassy young daughter Zoe. Zoe calls Violet out for paying Will's clients to take their place, saying that the money could easily sponsor 6 children from Uganda. Embarrassed, Violet responded by saying that Zoe should be slapped, and she makes fun of her hair halfway through the relaxation treatment. Violet requested that the process be stopped because she felt uneasy. Then it is revealed that Violet received the incorrect cream from Zoe, causing some of her hair to fall out and causing a scene. Violet again makes fun of Zoe's hair, blaming her for the incident. Additionally, she demands that her father set up a nice weave for her birthday celebration. At her birthday celebration, Clint suggests a toast during which he refers to her as perfect and expresses his wonder at how Violet is able to look just as stunning in the morning as she does at night. She is shocked when he instead gives her a dog named Lola instead of a ring, after 2 years of dating. She confronts him at home and tells him she was hoping for a ring from him. She then admits to Clint that she is not even a dog person. Clint answers, "That's the issue. He hasn't really gotten to know her after 2 years because she never lowers her guard around him or reveals her weaknesses." Violet sobbed and broke up with him after realizing he wasn't ready to marry her. The following morning, Lola is by Violet's side when she awakes, and she takes her outside to relieve herself before she heads off to work. Still in shock following her breakup, her carefully prepared presentation is screwed up. The client loves the campaign but insists on using her coworker Alicia in place of Violet for the project. Her boss requested that she take a few days off to clear her head. She uses the opportunity to go shopping. During her shopping trip, she manages to catch Zoe shoplifting at the mall. She then calls Will to take his daughter back home. Violet goes out later that night with her friends for drinks. At the club, she meets a man and takes him home, leading him to believe she is wild and crazy. The man entices her to engage in wild roleplay, but when they end up hitting their heads leaving him bleeding, Violet decides to leave as it was a bad idea. She went to visit Clint at work because the day was a complete disaster. When she gets to the hospital, she discovers Clint giggling and flirting with a colleague. Clint notices her and tries to explain, but she berates him and leaves. She is heartbroken, as she feels he had moved on already. When she gets home, she drinks some more. then made the decision to remove Clint's possessions from her room before she started crying in the mirror. She makes the decision to shave her head in an instant and actually does it. The morning after the alcohol wears off. When she realizes what she has done, she is appalled. She calls her parents, after noticing their daughter's hair Paulette pass out, and Richard consoles her by saying that it just amplifies how attractive she is. Violet enters the office with a scarf covering her head, but she can't bring herself to face her coworkers, so she sobs in the restroom. A local woman notices and invites her to join her support group. Violet makes the decision to give it a try, but when she learns that the group is for cancer survivors, she realizes how minor her problems are in comparison to them. She apologizes and then leaves, but the group leader offers her words of encouragement and tells her to own her appearance. Over time, Violet becomes more confident in her new appearance. She also asked her boss to move her from the beauty section to another position because she needed a new challenge. After carefully considering her request, he agreed to let her explore other possibilities. One day she gets a handwritten letter from little Zoe explaining everything and offering Violet her sincere apology for everything that she has caused. Violet was moved by her letter, so she went out and bought the dress she was about to steal from the mall and gave it to her herself. Zoe also harbors internalized hatred for her natural body and hair, as Violet learns from hearing her. Violet apologizes to her for her remarks and advises her not to let other people's unfavorable perceptions of her shape who she is. Additionally, by straightening and braiding Zoe's hair for her, she encourages her once more. When Will arrives and sees Violet and his daughter having fun, he invites her to stay for dinner, which makes her happy. Here she revealed a side of herself she had never shown before. She sings as she felt at ease around him. Before they parted ways, Will invites her on a date. Prior to their date, Paulette visits Violet at home with a magazine that shows her father posing while wearing underwear. Violet finds it amusing, but Paulette finds it embarrassing. She also tells her mother about her date with Will. Much to her bemusement, on their first date, Will took her to a food truck restaurant and urged her to order actual food rather than a snobbish salad. The two then discuss their former relationships, and it becomes clear that Zoe's mother left because she couldn't handle being a mother. Will introduces Violet to one of his passion flower scalp massage oils. He then starts massaging her head. They share a romantic kiss. After a while, the two start dating, and Violet grows particularly close to Zoe. The pair get along well right away, so Violet invites Will to her mother's 4th of July celebration. Despite Violet's best efforts to avoid the topic, when Paulette learns that Will works as a hairdresser and doesn't even own a car, she makes demeaning remarks about his profession, which prompts Will to leave. Violet pursues him and makes an effort to stop him, but he criticizes her for trying to hide his job from her mother. She is told to resolve her issues on her own. Will breaks it off with her. Violet tries her best but falls short at work when she loses another pitch. This was for an advertisement for a campaign featuring a diverse group of women, but she lost to a male colleague's suggestion of using blonde models with large breasts. She leaves her position. Her boss tries to talk her out of it, but she insists that it has been coming for a while. When she gets home, she puts on loud music and dances her problems away, totally oblivious, not realizing that Clint came by to collect his things. When the music stops, Clint lets her know he was watching her and admires her letting loose. After several months have passed since their breakup, Clint still has feelings for Violet and apologizes, saying that he never intended for her to doubt her beauty. Then Clint says that Lola the dog urinated on his shirt and he would like to take a shower. After a moment of hesitation, she lets him use her shower. She then decides to join him. They start making love. The following morning, she makes breakfast, but Clint tells her she must sit at the table as she chops onions at the counter. Clint then pops the question to her with an onion ring, and she accepts. She tells her mother, who is ecstatic beyond words. She informed her friends of the impending nuptials, which is 3 months away. Violet keeps in touch with Zoe and invites her to the engagement celebration. After, Clint asked her to straighten her hair so she could meet his parents. Even though Violet finds the request odd, she agrees, and Paulette assists her in straightening it. At the party she meets Quinn's parents. She feels pressured and uneasy and goes off alone. Her heels are killing her, so she takes them off. Everyone is seated and waiting for her, so Clint and her parents look for her. They find her sitting by herself in a room. She tells them that she can't face Clint's parents because she can't live up to their standards as she is not perfect. She says even Zoe at the age of 10 can walk barefoot outside without a care in the world and knows who she is. While she doesn't, when Clint asked her what she wants, she said she wants to go for a swim. She went barefoot to the pool surrounded by tables of people and jumps in. She invites others, some of Violet's girlfriends, and others joins her. Violet's father grabs her mother and they jump in and make up with a kiss while Clint looks on disappointedly. Some days later, Violet and Will are in a conference room at an ad agency where she's pitching Will's plant-based hair products for women's natural hair. After a successful pitch, Violet and Will walk out together, and after speaking briefly, Violet walks away confidently. Thanks for watching. Kindly subscribe to our channel to get notified when we post the next recap.